Welcome back to my YouTube channel again. This is David Gladness, and on this particular video I'm going to be taking you through the process on how you can replicate this design you're seeing right on your screen, making use of your smartphone softwares. Okay, now this video is being divided into three major parts. Okay, we have the Pixellab tutorial, we have the CANVA tutorial, and also we have the concluding part. All right, so this particular part is the first part, which is the Pixellab tutorial. Basically, I'm going to be teaching you on how you can replicate this design making use of your Pixellab. But then Pixellab is not just the only app that was used on this particular design. Okay, so do well to check the concluding part if you're a Pixellab user, and if you're a CANVA user, do well to check the CANVA tutorial and also the concluding part. All right, so without further ado, let's go to our Pixellab app. Okay, now when you open your Pixellab, you're likely to get something like this. All right, so the first thing I want to do is to adjust my default size, my background size. So I'll click on this icon you're seeing right here, then I'll click on image size. Now the image size I want to use, you can see this width. For the width, we are going to be using 1067, okay, 1067, and for the height, please do not tamper with that. Then click on OK. Now I'm going to be deleting this particular default text. I'll just delete it. Now we want to change our background color to a green color, but then before we do that, we need to import our design resources. All the resources you're going to need for this particular design will be provided for you in my YouTube community. So do want to check the comment section or the description box for the design resources. You're going to get the design resources for free, and as well I'll be waiting for your own replica in my CNC group. So do want to check the description box for the group link where you can drop your design for corrections. Okay, now I'm going to import my own design resources, so I'll click on this middle icon, then click on import. Alright, creative, so as you can see, the resources all has been imported. I have all my resources here. Now I'm going to be hiding them one by one because we don't want to work with them now. Now we need to change our background color, so I will click on this icon, click on color, then I'm going to be tapping on this plus icon you're seeing right here. So I'll just tap on plus, then I'm going to click on my color picker to select a color because we want to sample a color from the clothes of the celebrant, okay, from the celebrant's clothes. So I'm going to be sampling a color from this particular image. Now we need a dark green. We want to make use of a dark green, so I'll just locate a dark part on our clothes. So I will select a color from this part of our clothes. All right, I think this is dark enough. Now I'll tap on this mark icon, and as you can see, I'll just increase this to green. Then I'll tap on this mark icon. As you can see, we have gotten the color we need. Now in case you want to use your own color, you can just use this particular color code 00220E. So you can just click on this place and input the color code right here, and once you're done with the color code, just tap on this mark icon and click on OK so that you can get the exact color I am also using. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is to make the first image I want to work with visible, which is this particular image. So I'll just bring it to front. Now I will go to my relative position and increase the size to 100. You can see that, and then I'm going to be positioning it around here. Now I need to rotate my image. I need to rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it to something like this. You can see that. Then I'll position it around here like this. So let's see what we've got. Yes, I think this is actually great. This is actually nice. Yes, this is nice. We can work with it. Now I'm going to be locking it. I'm going to lock that image. Now I'll go to my inner shadow. We want to make use of an inner shadow because if you should focus on this part of the image, it's having one dark vibe. Okay, so we need to get rid of that. So I'll zoom out, then I'm going to tap on the image, then I'll go to my inner shadow, then enable my inner shadow. Now I want to make use of a white color for my inner shadow, so I'll tap on plus and then make this a white color. So let's see what we've got. You can see that. Now the first thing we want to work with is our blur radius. We are going to be increasing the blur radius to 25. Then the offset X, we want to move it because we don't want it to show from this part, the right hand side of the image. We don't want it to show from here. So tap on the image. I'll go to my inner shadow. Then I will increase my inner shadow to like 10. Yes, 10 is a good number. Then I'll tap on plus and reduce the transparency of the white. We are going to reduce the transparency of the white. So let's see what we've got. Yes, I think this is actually okay, but let's reduce it more. Alright, so let's check the before and the after. See it before the inner shadow and see it after the inner shadow is being added. You can see the differences, right? You can see the differences. Now the next thing we're going to do is to tap on this mark icon. Now we want to import the next image. We want to make other images visible. So as I've said earlier, the resources you are going to need are going to be provided for you in my YouTube community. So the link is on the description box. You can do well to join us there. Alright, so I'm going to make this particular image visible. Then I'll move it to front. Then I'm going to increase the size a bit. Then I'm going to position it around here like this. Alright, now I need to flip this image. I need it to face the other way around. So I'll go to crop. I'll click on crop. Then you can see this particular icon you're seeing right here. I'll flip it to the other way around. Then tap on mark icon. Now I'm going to position this backward. I'll just click on to back. Alright, so I need to reduce the size a little bit more because I want the face to be visible. So I'll reduce the size a little bit. Then I'll position it around here like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing properly. Please do well to achieve something better as well. Then I'll position it around here. I think this is great. Then I'll go to my opacity and reduce the image opacity to like maybe 20 is a good number. Just leave this on 20, then tap on mark icon. Then we're going to be locking it. The next thing I want to make visible is this last image right here. So I'll position it here, then go to my relative size, and then I'm going to increase the size as well. To something big, and then I'll position it around here. You can see that, right? So I'm going to position it around here. Then I'll move it to back as well. Now I'll go to my opacity and reduce the image opacity to 20 as well. As you can see that, now I'm going to lock it as well so that my hand is not going to be touching them. And as you can see, we are getting close to the end of this first part of the video. Now the next thing we're going to do is to bring in a text. Alright, so I'll just tap on plus. I'll tap on this A, then bring in a text. And now I'll edit my text and just input a simple wishes. Alright, so I'll just input your new age is blessed. Okay, your new age is blessed. Alright, so I'm going to reduce the size of my text and adjust it to something like this. Then I will activate my grid line, or better still, you just first of all, let's go to our spacing. Go to spacing and increase the spacing to something like this. Then adjust your text to something like this as well. You can see that, right? Then reduce the size. I will leave my spacing on 30, and as you can see, let me check my own size. The size of my text is actually going to be on 35 rather. It's going to be on 35, and I'm going to position it at the middle. So I'll move it up a bit, then relative position, and make sure it is at the middle. I like to reduce the size more because I don't want it to create another emphasis. So I'll position it at the middle. Let me check the size I'm using right now. So the size I'm using right now is actually going to be on 30. I'll leave it on 30 and make sure it is at the middle at the top of the image. Alright, now the next thing we want to do is to bring in the birthday. So I'm going to tap on plus, and then I'm going to double tap it, then input 22 because the birthday is 22 February. The birthday I used was 22 February. Then I'll increase the size to something big like this. Now the font I want to use is going to be a bold font. So I'll just go to AB font. I'll click on my AB font, and the font I want to use is actually Go Bold. So I'll just make use of my Go Bold. So I'm going to be using the Go Bold. I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel on how you can actually add more fonts to your Pixellab. So you can learn that. You can check the video on my YouTube channel or check the description box. The video on how you can add more fonts to your Pixellab is already there. So you can get to learn how you can add more fonts to your Pixellab. So I'll activate my grid line, okay? I'll activate my grid line and click on the my length icon. So I want this to be at the middle. Then I would like to reduce the size a little bit more and position this. Okay, I'll position this right here. Okay, now I'll go to my shadows. Then I'll activate my shadow. Now I want to make use of a black color for my shadow. Now you can see my blur radius. I'll bring it back to 0. Let me tap on it so that you can see what we are doing properly. Let me zoom in. Okay, so let's go to shadows. Then the offset X is going to be on +3, and my offset Y is going to be -3 is going to be my -2 is going to be my offset X, and my offset Y on +3. So I think this is actually great. Now I'm going to zoom out. Okay, then I will reduce my, you can see what we've got. So this is great. Now the next thing we want to do is to bring in another text, which is going to be February. So I'll just tap on plus, then I will edit it and input the month. So the month I use is actually February. Okay, now I'll reduce the size of my text and I'll make sure it is positioned beneath that particular text properly. Now I want to change the font I'll be using for this particular February. So I'll tap on AB font, and I think the font I used here is this particular font, Laurel Welt. So I'll tap on it, then click on OK. Now I'll go to my B format to make it bold. Okay, then let's see what we've got, because let me zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing properly. You can see this F, this particular F text. I want it to start from the first 22. Okay, I want it to start from this part, and this Y as well will be ending from the other part right here. So I'll go to my spacing, or better still, I go to my size, then I increase the size to 30. Let me check. Okay, let's just use 31. Let's use 31 for our size. So let's see what we've got. You can see that. So this is actually great. At least this is great. Now I will go to my shadows as well, activate my shadow, reduce the blur radius and the offset X on -2 and the offset Y as well on just +2. Now let's zoom out to see what we've got. Yes, this is actually great, and we are almost done with the tutorial. Okay, now I want to increase the size of my image, this particular image. I want to increase the size a little bit. I feel like it's not big enough, so I'll tap on it, then I'll go to my, I'll bring it up a bit. I'll go to my position and bring it up a bit. Just move it up a bit. No need of you increasing the size. Just move it up a bit. Okay, I think this is actually great. This is nice. Now the next thing I want to do is to bring in another text. There is a wishes I position here. So I will just copy this particular February text. I'll copy it, then I'll position it right here. Now there is something you need to make sure you do. So tap on this, activate your grid line, and you see this particular please let me show you. Tap on the grid line and click on this settle like icon. Now when you click on it, bring this grid line around here so that it's going to be at the top of that 22 text, and this particular grid line, move it around here so that it's going to be beneath that particular February text. That is going to be our guideline. You can see that. So we are going to be having something close to what we need. So I'll double tap to edit my text, and now I'm just going to input some wishes. So I think I use prosperity. Oh, okay. Then I use a bullet dot. I use a bullet dot on each wishes I'm adding. Okay, I made sure I use a bullet dot. So I'll go to the next line. Then I will input the next thing. I think longevity. Then a bullet dot. I use happiness. I used success. Okay. And then I think I use peace. You can use anyone. You can actually use anyone. Yes, this is great. Then I'll click on this OK icon. Now you can see the alignment. So we'll go to our alignments, which is this align right here. So I'll click on this. You can see what we've got right there. Now I'm going to position it at the middle. So make sure you position it at the middle. Now I'll go to my spacing and add a line spacing. Now I'll first go to my position. You can see this grid line is our guideline right now. So I'll go to this position. Let me zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'll bring this down in such a way that, yes, you can see that right. Now I'll go to my spacing to increase my line spacing so that piece as well will be on the next line. You can see what I've been able to do. This is called balancing. We want it to balance, okay? Yes, I think this is actually great. As you can see, now we want to work with the last part of this video. So we are going to be activating this particular thing, this particular birthday text effect. So I'll move it to front. All right, so I will reduce the size and position it at the middle. Let's see what we've got. Now, as you can see, based on the skin of the lady, that text is not visible enough. Based on the skin, that text is not visible enough. So we need to add a gradient fading effect. We need to add a gradient fading effect so that our text is going to be much more visible. Now we want to add a gradient fading effect. So I have a proper tutorial on how you can actually add a gradient fading effect to your design. So you can check that out, or check the description box. I have a proper tutorial. It will be the link will be tagged on the description box. So I will adjust my shape to something like this. Okay, to something like this. Then I will go to my gradients and tap on this plus icon. Now this is the particular gradient fading effect. This particular second one is what we want to work with. Then you see this particular node, just tap on it and click on this color icon. Now click on this color picker, then select a color from, just sample a color from the background, then tap on this mark icon. Now you can see this second node, this top node. Click on it, click on color, and you can see this particular last node. Bring it down so that it's going to be totally transparent. This particular one right here, just bring it down so that it's going to be totally transparent. Then click on OK. Now let's see what we have been able to create. You can see we are creating a gradient fading effect. So just position it around here like this. Please don't let it cover the lady's face. Just position it to like a shoulder level, okay? Now tap on plus, and then you see this thing, bring it down a bit, just a little. Then let's see what we've got. Okay, let's bring it down more. Yes, this is great. Now tap on this mark icon. Now we are going to be moving this text to the top. Okay, now let's duplicate this particular gradient fading effect again. Just click on copy, click on edit, and this time around just bring this down a little, bring it down a little, and bring this up a little. Let's see what we've got. Now we are going to be moving this text as well to the front. And as you can see, we have been able to fade the down part and our text is much more visible. Now we are going to be locking the rest of the resources. If you know it's going to be affecting you, I like to lock my own resources. So you can lock them one by one so that your hand is not going to be touching anything by mistake. So I'll go to my shadow, tap on this text, go to shadow, enable your shadow. Please, after the enabling your shadow, just increase this. Increase this to the highest level. Okay. Then tap on this plus icon. Then reduce the shadow transparency. Reduce it to like the middle to see what we've got. You can see that. So this is okay. Then tap on this mark icon. Look at what we've got. Now want to bring in a shape. So tap on plus. Then adjust your shape to something like this. Just bring it down a bit. Then adjust this like this. Alright. Alright, so this is great. Then you can see this radius. We want to give it a curve edge. So let's give it a curve edge. And then we are going to tap on the color we want to use. Just tap on plus. Then click on your color picker and sample a color from the lady's head tie. I'm going to sample a color from her head, okay? So I will sample a color from here. Then tap on mark. Alright, so I'll click on OK. Now I want to reduce the opacity of my shape. So let's go to opacity. Then reduce it a little to like, let's leave this on like 60 or 65. Then we want to add a stroke. So you can see this, just tap on a white color for your stroke. Oh, sorry, I'm not using the stroke. Then scroll down and make sure you select a white color for your stroke and add a stroke. Just, you can see this, increase the stroke to like 2. Or better still, you can use 1, anyone you feel like using. So let's see what we've got. Yes, the goal is to make it a little bit transparent. So tap on it and edit. We need to reduce the height of our shape a bit, the width rather. Then I will activate my grid line and make sure it is at the middle. Okay, then I'll tap on this mark icon. Now see what we've got. This is really beautiful and we are almost done with this first part. Now I'm going to copy this particular "your new age is blessed," that particular text. I'll copy it. Then I'm going to edit it. I'll click on edit and input the name of our celebrant. Okay, so I'm just going to input the name of our celebrant. All right, then I'll tap on this. Then I'll go to my spacing. This spacing right here. Then bring it back to normal and increase the size of my text to something big like this. Okay, now I'll activate my grid line. I'll just go to your relative position to position this at the middle. Now after positioning it at the middle, we'll go to shadow. We'll just go to shadows, activate your shadow, reduce the blur radius for your shadow, and then the offset X can be on -2 and the offset Y as well can be on +2. Now when you are done, just tap on this mark icon, and as you can see, we are actually done with Pixellab parts of the design. So this is really beautiful. And save your design. Make sure you are saving your design as an ultra dimension. So just tap on this save icon, click on save as image, and make sure you save it as ultra. Click on this place you are seeing custom and click on ultra, then click on save to gallery. So the next part is going to be the concluding part. Make sure you watch the concluding part to know how I made use of a effect to beautify this more. Okay, so thank you for sticking around to the end of this video tutorial. If you're a Canva user, you can check the part 2 of this video to know how you can replicate this making use of the Canva app. So see you on the concluding part of the video.